Good morning. Happy Wednesday. The sun is like very much in my eyes, and that's okay. Having a cup of coffee. Trying to enjoy the weather before it dumps snow because it's supposed to do that today. This has been an oddly weird week. So one, I was wearing a lip stain yesterday, so it looks like I'm wearing lip liner, and I'm tempted to actually put on lip liner just to hide it. Or I could, use makeup remover, but probably I'll just put on lip liner. I guess you'll find out later. Yeah. So it's been an oddly busy week. Monday. What did I do Monday? I did something Monday. I ran. I had a friend who was supposed to come over, so she did not. I ran 4.5 miles, which is great. I am doing a half marathon in August, so I need to sit down and figure out my training plan for that. So maybe we'll do that in a little bit. But I ran 4.5 miles, and then I was just busy doing stuff. And then Tuesday, which was yesterday, I dropped my kids off at 7:30, so I dropped them off for school, and I headed up to Breckenridge. Breckenridge is like an hour and a half away, maybe a little bit more depending on traffic. But one of my good friends lives up there, so I did bring my camera, and I was like, oh, I can get a little bit of me walking around and stuff. No, I forgot my SD card here. Whoops the doodle. So that's fine. But I had a nice couple of hours with my friend and her baby's 6 months. She's really cute. So I got to have lunch with her and her family. Her folks are in town, so it was a nice day. And then drove back earlier than I wanted to, but she had stuff going. So instead of spending like 7 hours, I spent like 4.5 or 5, which is fine. It was still good to see my friend. We're going to go again in May. And by we, I mean me and a coworker. / friend. So I'm excited. It'll be good. So we did that yesterday. Today is Wednesday, so we're going to go to boot camp. And then I have one of my friends and I are going to start cross-stitching together for like an hour and a half on Wednesdays. We're doing a stitch along, which I will explain more in a moment when I go inside and grab the pattern and some of the stuff. So we're going to do that. So go to boot camp, come home, hang out with the dogs, go to stitching, come home, hang out with the dogs. And then one of my friends is coming over today so that we can talk about our training plan because she's going to do this half marathon with me. So we're going to do that. And then it is supposed to dump snow. So it is nice today. Like it's supposed to be in the 50s. It's March 13th. I think it's the 13th. It's supposed to be in the 50s, but it is supposed to start like precipitating around 5-ish. 4 to 5, and we're supposed to get up to a foot of snow. So I may just film a little bit later before I actually post this so that you can see what it's doing because Denver weather, it's the best. So there's that. So tomorrow I'm supposed to go to Hot Works with a friend who lives like 40 minutes north, but if it is dumping buckets and my kids don't have school, guess what I'll be doing? Hanging out with the kids. So we'll see. So there's that, and then Friday I am supposed to go walking with my friend Delaney and her nugget, who I want to say he's like 8 months. He's real cute. He's a real cute squishy baby, but we're supposed to go walking. But again, if it's snowing, maybe we'll just have coffee. TBD, because everything depends on the weather. But I have already been productive this morning. I did the cat boxes, and I did the vacuum, and I took out the recycling, and I did the bird cage, and he promptly shat upon his fresh bedding because he's rude, because he's a bird. And if you didn't know, having a parrot is like having a toddler for 50 years. Big fucking middle finger. They're not super nice, and that's okay. He is nice to me, but they have attitudes and opinions, and that's all right. So I am gonna shut this off for a second. I showed you how my stuff was. I showed you how my hyacinths, my daffodils are coming up, and now it's gonna snow, so yay. I'm gonna shut this off. I'm gonna go grab my crafty stuff I've been working on and show you the stitch along stuff and explain about that. So BRB. Okay, so we're gonna flip this around. My glamorous kitchen. So here is what I've been working on. I've actually done quite a bit. You can't tell. This is so slow going. I really love how it looks. It looks kind of like a corset, except it seems like it's a little skewed to one side. And it took me a while to figure out how to get the edges straight, just because you have to do an increase because there's a decrease here, which only makes sense to some people, but she's really pretty. I like it. I'm 2/3 of the way done with this skein of yarn, and then I'll probably put a pause on it and work on stuff that I need to finish instead of stuff I want to work on. So this is what I'm going to be working on. So a stitch along, hold on, we're flipping back around. Whoops. So most crafts have this. So a stitch along is an SAL, which is where you do a cross stitch program pattern. And usually it's a big group of people doing them. So some people will do a mystery one where like they'll release one once a month for 12 months, which is the one that I need to finish. That's what that was. They released one pattern a month for 12 months, which I started that 3 years ago. So we're going to finish it. I completely frogged one of my, one of the last boxes. So I guess I can show you that later when I show you what we've managed to do on the one we're doing. So a knit along would be the same thing. They release a chunk of a pattern for knitting, or crochet along, or sew along, whatever. You can do it for any craft. So this is, my friend and I, this isn't supposed to be a stitch along, but we wanted to spend time together, and it's a pattern we both want to do. So there's a pattern maker that I really like called the Witchy Stitcher, and she has some really fun, obviously kind of witchy stitches, and a lot of them are like, you know, horror themed or just like kind of spooky stuff. And then there's also like the Wheel of the Year and actual witchy stuff. But so it looks like this. It's called Poisonous Plants. So there's moonflower, hemlock, foxglove, bleeding heart, wolfsbane, oleander, deadly nightshade, European yew, deathly mushroom, and hellebore. So it'll be stitched on black. I printed out in black and white because I'm cheap. But here is our pattern. Those are our colors. My friend got the floss because I had 2 whole colors. So fresh needles, fresh thing of Aida. Aida is the cross stitch fabric. It has little holes so that you can do the cross stitching. I prefer 16 count. This is 14 count, so it'll be a little bit bigger than I like, but it's fine because I am getting old and I have crappy eyes. So I will have to show you all my floss sometime. I'm gonna have to do like an organization video on my craft stuff because I have so much yarn and cross stitch stuff, and it's semi-organized. Like, it makes sense to me, but like I have things I want to make and I have things in mind, so I need to make sense. So I am excited. I'm gonna go hang out with Janine. She had most of the floss except for like 4 or 5 colors, so we're gonna start with a frame today. I probably won't make much progress because cross stitching takes a million years, but it's fun. So finished size should be like 10.5 by 7.5. And I'll probably frame it and put it somewhere in the house because it's pretty. Yep, that's it. I've got my blanket. I probably will not work on. I'll probably work on it while Girl Child's at dance today, and then I'll do my cross stitch, and I will come back in a little bit and talk to you about that. See you soon. Hi. So snow has not started yet. It's not supposed to start till like 5 or 6. So crossing my fingers, we get to dance and it's okay. TBD. So we went and stitched for like an hour and a half and it was good. However, this is an hour and a half worth of work. Let me flip us around. Oh my goodness, it's nothing. I mean, to be fair, we were talking and chatting and stuff. She printed me out a copy on color, which is so nice. So now you can see, but this is 140 stitches across. And then I started working my way back, but there's these little valleys. So that's going to go all the way across until about here. So typically when you cross stitch, most people will start in the middle. I don't. I have always started bottom left and I have no idea why, but that's just what I do. So it's funny because I started bottom left. Typically my friend Janine will start usually top right, I think. She said she usually starts top right. But she kind of flubbed it, so she ended up doing like half of one of the short sides instead of what she normally does. I took a picture. It's really funny, but I'm not savvy enough to do that. However, we came back to my house for a minute so I could give her a needle minder because she doesn't have any. I don't know how she would cross stitch without a needle minder, but I loaned her a couple of them, and we went through some of my cross stitch stuff. So, one, I forgot I had this binder. I should turn off the light so you don't have the glare. Oh my goodness, the glare. But I forgot I had this binder that has all these flosses in it, which is funny because like I still have not nearly as many flosses as many people do. And I have that, and I have this, and I have a couple of other random things. But I forgot I had these. I did an exchange in 2020, and we all did a square and mailed it to each other. Well, there's like 32 people, and I have 16 squares. So obviously, some people did not hold up their end of the bargain. But I sent all of mine off because I batched them and sent them all at once. So they're all sent. That was years ago at this point. That one has a long tail. That was rude. But I don't know if I talked to you about my plan for what I was going to do with... Oh, I have this yarn. I have some of this yarn at home. In my basement. I won't flip. Okay, I'm sorry. So I have some of that. I have some of this one downstairs. So anyways, I have all these random things. So I don't know if I talked to you about my plan for some of my mismatched yarns. So there's I don't want to call it viral, but like a popular pattern right now. And it's like a vintage daisy kind of granny square thing, which I'm going to make for my friend Colin. But she told me her husband 100% will steal her blanket. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll make 2. I have these. I should just make extra squares and give that to her. So I can't remember if they're 10 by 10 or 12. That's probably 10 by 10. And I have 16, which would make a 4 by 4 blanket, which would be 40 by 40. So if I make, that's 16. If I make another 14, then I could have a 5 by 6 blanket. That sounds right. I don't know if I'm mathing correctly. And that would be 50 by 60. So maybe I'll do that and then give that to Anthony. And then they can each get their own blanket. My dogs are chewing on the cat. They've been crated for a while, so now they're all being ding-dings together. So maybe I'll do that. And, well, this looks kind of... I don't know that there's an overwhelming color, so maybe I'll have to look through my scrap yarn. This is great. I'm trying to stash bust this year, so let's stash bust. It's not raining, snowing, precipitating yet. I'm going to go pick up dog poop because... it gets real gross under the snow, and I'm going to hope for the best. Ryan is going to pick up the kids from school. He's going to stop and get salmon because girl child really wants salmon for dinner on Friday. Boy child picked fish sticks for dinner tomorrow. Girl child got this for her birthday. So we've done 2 recipes out of it. We're going to do 2 more on Friday. But since we're probably going to have 9 inches by 6 a.m., and we're all going to be home together tomorrow, we're going to just prepare. Okay. So thoughts and prayers. I'm going to go pick up dog poop. I should drink water. I should switch from coffee to water. It's almost 2. We're going to drink some water. And I started the dishwasher. I need to clean up the sink. Stuff to do, but I will check back in a little bit. Okay, bye. So we were told there'd be 9 inches by 6 a.m. There's not. It's 9 a.m. and we've got, don't get me wrong, there's a fair amount. There's probably like 6 inches, maybe more. I don't know. I'm not good at this, but not what they told us it would be. So I just shoveled. It's like 9:30. He's behind my head. There's my bubby. So I'll check back in a little bit. It is still coming down, but it is like melty, and this is what we got. So check back in a little bit. It's like 3:30. It's like 3:30. Still snowing. It's really pretty, but it's not really sticking. So the ground, let's flip. So I haven't shoveled since this morning. The ground is pretty warm, so everything is just like melting off. But I think as we get colder, once night hits, it's gonna turn into a giant ice slick. So like you can see, like it's not terrible. It's not terrible right now. I think it's gonna get not fun. So I'm just planning on my kids not having school again tomorrow. That's my assumption. But I'm also like in sleep paralysis. No, we're not in sleep paralysis. I'm in like decision paralysis mode right now. So we have the blanket I've been working on, and I finished a skein of yarn. I'm very excited because it's Tunisian and it's taking a million years, which is fine. We're learning new things. It's cool. So I finished a skein of that. That baby is not due till September, so I have time. So now I'm in oh my goodness, like I should probably grab my cross stitch that my friend and I are doing. I should probably work on that, but then I have the one that I need to finish that I should work on, and then I want to make another blanket in this yarn. And I need to work on my giant one. So And your Junie just wants to love because she just loves me so much. Look at it. She's a baby. She's a baby. And then these dingleberries. They're just hanging out. Kitten is cold, but now she wants to bath her sweater. Hi, Chisme. Say hi. She's not impressed. Now both of the dogs are on me and I don't like it. So now I don't know what I want to do. So I'll probably cross stitch. Get off of me! Probably cross stitch. Go start making dinner. Maybe I'll take off my hat. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Also, I love this sweatshirt. Except it's very much like in my Adam Sandler era. And it's comfortable and it's warm and it has pockets. But it's real frumpy. But I'm gonna sign off for now. I will next week, I guess, let you know how much snow we ended up getting. Have a really good day. Talk to you later. Drink some water. Bye.